Hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to the Scorpion Engine Ultra Beginner's Guide tutorials. And today we're doing tutorial number 4, which is going to be map scrolling. Unlike the other ones, this one has no prerequisites. You can just jump straight in with a blank project, get into it. And that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to create a new project, open up the editor, new project, and we're going to put it in our folder map scrolling, which is already created. Switch the target platform to Mega Drive. Okay, that's all good. Now we're going to get our tile set ready. So go into our project folder. And we're going to open Mega Drive palette PNG, and the reason we're doing that is because it's an indexed palette instead of an RGB palette. If you use an RGB palette for your tile map, you're going to run into problems. So use index color palette for your tile map. Okay, and we want this to be 16 by 16 pixels. We're just having one tile in this tile map for this demo. So it's sitting there, it's purple color. We'll zoom in on it. There it is. Okay. We're going to use orange for our foreground color. Well, for our tile color, and then we're going to put a little brown border around the edges of it. Sorry, it should have been the pencil tool. Here we go. It's all happening. Just around those two edges, so when it appears in a map, each edge is just going to have 1 pixel instead of 2 pixels around it. Okay, and we're going to call that tiles.png, even though there's only one tile in it, we're going to call it that. Right, so the tile's now ready. Right, now next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the maps panel, and before we can create a map we've got to have a tile set. So we're going to click on tile sets, add tiles.png, and we're going to call that new tile set. And there's our tile set. Now we're going to add a map. Select our tile set, and then we're going to save that as new map. Okay, and then it's created a map for us with all these tiles on it. We're going to click on edit map. So the prerequisite for this is you must have installed the program tiled to open and edit these tile sets. It's not a optional extra. It's absolutely required if you want to use this Scorpion editor. but it's integrated into it. You click on edit map, it'll crack open tiled with your map. It'll load your map into it. Let's click on maybe later for that. Okay, and we are going to, by default it makes a really big map for you. We're going to shrink that down, map, resize map. We're going to make it, the height's going to be 14 I believe for NTSC. The width from memory we'll make it 30, but we'll see how we get on. In our layers area we'll select new tile set. We're going to ignore these other two layers, we'll get into that later. Click on the eraser tool, just erase everything, or you can click on the select tool, click the delete button, erase everything. That's probably a bit quicker. We'll click on our new tileset button, we'll start drawing something on here. No. I think it's the stamp brush. Okay, I'm back. I think I had an area selected that I needed to deselect. Anyway, we'll keep going. You can use Control Z to undo your mistakes in this, fortunately. Okay, I don't think this is going to be big enough. I'll make the map a bit bigger. Is it gonna fit in? Only just. Okay, there we go. That's our map. For now, that's all we're going to get into. There's actors, blocks, there's other layers. We're just interested in the map layer. All the other tiles are blank. These are the populated tiles. Let's save that. And then as soon as we go back in, it's automatically got it there. Okay, now in our startup block, we've got to load and display a map, which is a level, A level is a map. A map is a level. Here we go. So that should show the... There we go. That shows the beginning of the map there. Now we want to get it scrolling. We're going to add a command to camera scroll. So that's in the display category, display, set scroll speed, and we're going to set X speed to 1. Let's open that up, and if all goes well it should be scrolling across. There we go. So once it gets to the edge of the map it just stops. It's got nowhere further to go. That's all good. So we want it to scroll the other way after it gets to the end. There's different ways of doing that, but I'm going to try and do it the best way, which is to add a timer event to the map. We're going to create a variable. Variables and constants down here. We're going to call it actually we're going to put an underscore in front of it. And that's going to be number 1. Okay, very good. And let's make that scroll speed. Just test that, make sure we've spelt everything correctly and so on. Okay, that's still working. Let's continue. Now, on timer, so before we can select an event, we've got to create one. So let's create a code block. We'll call it scroll bounce or something. So when the map hits the right edge, after a certain amount of time, we're going to reverse its direction. So we're going to not declare a variable, we're going to set a variable. Let's try again. Set variable, change the value of a variable. So that's base, set variable, and I've named it with an underscore, so it's going to appear on top of all this built-in stuff. Go straight to the top. Our expression, we're going to set it to the negative of itself, so it'll bounce in the opposite direction that it already is in. Okay, scroll speed times -1. And I've made a typo, but it at least told me that. How does that? Okay, that's better. That's better. And then we are going to set the camera to start scrolling in the opposite direction. It doesn't let you pick the variable name, you've got to type it in, so we're going to do that. So in theory that's now going to bounce back when this command gets called. So go to maps, on timer, scroll bounce, and we'll make that happen. Let's give it 15 seconds, so 15 times 50. Let's just say 300 frames just for the sake of argument. And we'll see what happens. Okay, that was a reasonably good guess, but it's not getting to the end of the world. It's only getting to the letter W, so we'll pump that up a bit. Well, let's just change that to 500. That might be 10 seconds or less if you're on NTSC or PAL or whatever. Okay, there we go. Now it's going back the other way. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You can change your scroll speed to be a bit higher, and then you might want to change your delay to be a bit lower. It does not let you put a variable name into timer frames, so that's just the way it is. But as you get further into it, there's other ways of dealing with that. But for now, this is Ultra Beginner's Guide. You can just play around with that. You got a scrolling map. That's the end of the demo. Here endeth the lesson. Thanks for watching.